Okay, so you know those super high ceilings in a narrow supermarket aisle or a really packed warehouse? Ever wonder how anyone actually works up there? I mean, ladders are shaky, scaffolding is just enormous, and both take forever to set up. Well, there's this really clever piece of engineering made for this exact problem, the vertical mass lift.
So, here's what we're going to do. First, we'll look at why working up high is so tricky. Then, we'll meet the machine built to solve it. After that, we'll dive into the three main families of Genie lifts, put the best ones head to head, and then wrap up by answering some of your biggest questions. All right, let's start with the real problem here. Think about modern indoor spaces. Retail stores, warehouses, data centers. They're all designed to be super efficient, which usually means really narrow aisles and just a ton of stuff everywhere. Trying to get people and tools way up high in these spots, it's a total headache, and a dangerous one at that.
I mean, this is the question that facility managers and contractors deal with literally every day. You've got to change a light bulb or run some cable, maybe do an inventory count 30 feet in the air, but you've only got a few feet of width to work with. So what's the plan? For a long time, the options just weren't great. You could risk it on a wobbly ladder, and that's a huge safety issue, or you could waste hours building bulky scaffolding. But now, there's the smart way. Instead of rickety rungs or a giant metal cage, you get a solid, stable platform that has a tiny footprint. We're talking a setup time of minutes, not hours, and a massive improvement in on-site safety.
So, let's properly meet the hero of this story. This thing isn't just a shrunken down version of a bigger lift. No way. It's a purpose-built machine totally engineered from the ground up for one single job, getting you up high, safely and efficiently.
So what is it exactly? Well, it's an aerial work platform, sure, but the magic words here are compact and confined spaces. That's the whole point. Its entire design is about one thing, going straight up, safely, in places where pretty much nothing else can fit.
And the benefits here really stack up, kind of like a domino effect. Because it's way safer and faster to set up than a ladder or a scaffold, your productivity just skyrockets. You can get more done with fewer people, which obviously cuts down on labor costs. And the fact that they're electric means you can use them indoors all day long, no fumes. It's a win-win-win. Okay, now that we know what these machines are all about, let's get into the specifics with the Genie lineup. They've split their lifts into three different families, and each one has its own unique personality and job to do. Think of them like three specialized teams you can call in. First up, you've got the AWP series. I like to call these the push-arounds. These are your classic, super user-friendly workhorses. They're really simple, really lightweight, and just incredibly easy to wheel from one spot to the next. Everything about them is designed for simplicity and portability. That aluminum body makes them light enough for just one person to handle. They roll right through a standard doorway, no problem. And that tilt-back frame, that's a brilliant little feature. It means you can often just load one into the back of a regular pickup truck. And here's the family lineup. As you can see, when you go from the AWP 20S up to the 30S, really the only thing that's changing is how high it can go. The weight capacity and the manual push-around system, they stay exactly the same. So you just pick the model that gets you the reach you need. Simple as that. Now let's level up. Meet the second family, the Runabout GR series, or as I call them, the self-propelleds. If the AWP is all about setting up in one place, the Runabout is for jobs where you have to keep moving around. Okay, this is where things get a lot more high-tech. The self-propelled drive is the absolute star of the show. You can actually drive and steer it right from the basket, even when you're way up in the air. That zero turning radius means it can literally pivot in place, which is amazing for getting around tight corners. And having a power outlet for your tools right there in the platform, that's a huge game changer for productivity. So you've got two main models here, the GR12 and the GR15, offering slightly different heights, but check out that massive jump in lifting capacity, up to 227 kilos. These things are built to carry not just you, but a good amount of your tools and materials, all while you're driving around the site. And that brings us to our third and final family, the GL series. I just call these the manuals because, well, they're the definition of simplicity. Think of them as a super heavy-duty, rock-solid alternative to a ladder, but with no batteries or electronics to worry about. Their biggest strength is that straightforward, no-frills design. You just push them into place. This makes them really cost-effective, super easy to maintain, and very, very lightweight. They're perfect for those occasional jobs where you just need simple, reliable height. And looking at the GL models, you see they give you a really solid range of heights, all in that purely manual package. They're a bit simpler and don't go as high as the AWPs, but they do offer a little more capacity. It really is all about having a simple tool for a simple job. Okay, we've met the whole family. Now for the fun part. Let's put the top contender from each category right next to each other. This is where we'll really see the differences and figure out which one is the champion for what you need to do. And boom, here it is. This chart makes the choice crystal clear because it lays out the big trade-offs. The AWP30S gets you that incredible height, over 9 meters. The GR15 can't match that height, but it gives you way more lifting capacity. And of course, that electric drive system. And the GL12, that's just pure simplicity. No batteries, no motors, just you. This just illustrates that point perfectly. Look at this. If your number one goal is just pure vertical reach in a compact, push-around model, the AWP30S is in a league of its own. It absolutely towers over the other two. All right, to finish things off, let's run through a quick lightning round of the questions we hear all the time. This should really help lock in the key differences between these lifts. So, the number one question, hands down, is always push-around or self-propelled? And the answer really just depends on your workflow. Are you going up to work in one spot for a good while? If the answer is yes, a push-around AWP is perfect. But if your job is moving from fixture to fixture or from shelf to shelf, the self-propelled runabout is going to save you a mind-boggling amount of time and energy. You know, we always say it's about choosing the right tool for the job. But here's a bigger thought to leave you with. Tools like these vertical mast lifts don't just help us work in places like warehouses and stores. They're the reason those places can be designed that way in the first place. I mean, without these super compact lifts, could we even have such narrow, high-density buildings? It kind of makes you wonder, what will the tools of tomorrow allow us to build next?